And I was talking about Chinese restaurant and.
Yeah, no, Ustream just bobbled me with a question. And
Oh, okay.
so, our holiday tradition, there wasn't much of a holiday tradition. We put the Christmas tree up on my birthday because my birthday is the beginning of December. It comes down on my mom's birthday, which is the beginning of January. And that was about the only tradition we had. Dad got shit-faced drunk every night, so it
Oh,
wasn't like any other night.
wow.
If mom had Christmas Eve off, which was very rare because she has worked graveyards for like 40 years,
In a
and
24/7 business.
yeah,
Yeah.
either out here at the casino or before she worked for the casino, she worked for Walmart. And I'm gonna tell
Oh,
you, Christmas Eve, Walmart,
forget it.
nobody has that fucking day off.
Right.
I mean, that right up
I
till
worked Walmart
midnight.
during the holidays once
Yeah.
Oh
in college
God. Did you
years
shoot
and years
yourself?
ago. It was pretty awful, but I had nothing else to do, so it worked. My family had moved away, so what
There
was
you
I gonna
go. Just
do?
work, right?
Yeah, so not a whole lot of crazy family traditions. It would depend. One of the things my parents were really good at though is if we went to my grandparents for Christmas, I don't know how they got all the presents there, but all of Santa's gifts arrived at my grandparents' house. So I
Oh.
don't know if they shipped them beforehand cuz I've always been the one to help pack the car. I don't know if they shipped them ahead of time, if they sent my grandparents like money and a list,
Because that was back before you could
or
like go on the internet and order all the produce and ship them there. That was
yeah,
not
that was
feasible.
before
Yeah,
the
it wasn't
online
feasible.
stuff.
Because I did a lot of that.
And
Sure.
the one thing that I did get from my mom when I was old enough to start playing Santa with my mom, because my dad was in bed by 7 o'clock every night, no matter what. He did not hide eggs. He did not wrap presents. He did not put things under the tree. Did not fill stockings. He didn't do any of that shit. No.
He was the Grinch.
So when I was old enough to start playing Santa with my mom, the one thing I learned is that at the end of Christmas, like the day after Christmas, when all the Christmas shit's like 85% off and you can buy a roll of wrapping paper for $2, that's when you get Santa's wrapping paper.
Oh yeah.
You get that paper and you find a place to hide it for a year, and then you wrap all the presents in that paper, and it's not the same wrapping paper that your presents are wrapped
Did you
in.
ever have that problem, Toxie? Because that's how I realized there was no Santa when my present from Santa was wrapped in the same present my mom and dad gave my sister.
No,
Yeah.
we very
I
specifically
did the
everybody
same thing with my
had
daughter.
everybody had their own Christmas paper, their own Santa paper, and the writing was very specific on the cards. Where to this day, my mother still writes the
Like
Santa
Santa
cards
Day?
that are used for
Yeah.
my child. But so my child has separate paper. It's hidden, and she did find it one year, and she walked out crying.
Oh.
But
Oh.
I
Is that how
lied.
she find out?
Here's the deal. My rule is, and we touched on this before, as long as you believe Santa will come.
That's my.
She's a very intelligent little girl. She knows the reality. She's gonna play along.
I was
full
like, but
hilt.
she's smart enough
Like,
to play it. Like, yeah, there's a
she's
Santa.
like, oh yeah.
Let me go
when
sit on his lap.
Where's the
Right.
lap?
Yeah.
When are we going to see Santa? Can I write my list for Santa? Can I put cookies? Don't forget the carrots for the reindeer. And she's like, let's get some milk.
Yeah.
I mean, she's all prepared. And she's like, Mom, go check. See where Santa's at now. Oh, she's going to play that shit up
That's
and get
good.
those gifts as long as she can.
See, Thanksgiving too was always the day we were allowed to turn our Christmas list in to my parents.
Oh.
Now, my parents would only let us put 5 things on the list. Now, their thing was Santa may bring you more than 5, but you put the 5 most important on the list.
We do for Santa list. Santa's allowed to bring you 3
Okay.
gifts because I'm not letting some anonymous fucker fictional character get the credit for the good shit. So I'm like, you can put 3 things on there. Most likely Santa will bring them. So
Yeah, we do a top 10 list, and then I pick the best ones, and that's what I give, and then Santa brings like the lesser stuff. Like,
Right.
That's how.
Right. Well,
that's
and
how it
my little
works.
guy is like so smart. He's like, so I get presents from my mom, and I get presents from my mom's boyfriend, and from my dad, and from my stepmom, and from grandma, and from Santa. So he like wants to know where they're all coming from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you can't do that. Nope, we
Well, because he's just thinks he can get them all.
we nipped that in the bud a long time ago. Like, I can't remember, it was 3 or 4 years ago, my son went really crazy with his Christmas list. And I had to sit down with him and I said, look, I know Santa's magic and he can bring toys for the entire world in one bag on his sleigh, but there is a finite amount of space in that bag. Santa's not going to bring you everything on your list because A, that's selfish, and B, that's not the point of Christmas.
Right.
And so he's going to bring you like some really good stuff, but just so you know, Santa and I coordinate on your list so that we try to get you everything on the list. It's just not all going to come from Santa. Okay. So
Okay.
so he's got that, he knows that some of the stuff that he sends to Santa may not come from Santa. It may come from grandma in California or grandma in whatever. Because literally, I take the Santa list and I scan it, copy it, and email
Send
it
it
to
out.
everybody.
Good
And then I
idea.
say, tell me what you got off the list, and I will let everyone else know. And that way, he doesn't get like 4 of the same thing.
Good idea.
And it's worked
It's like
out
a
really well.
registry. It's a Christmas
It's
registry.
exactly what
We
it
do
is.
we do the
Registry.
same with my in-laws. We have to have the list ready by like summer.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't purchase anything off the list. You cannot, whatever's on that list, you dare buy throughout the year.
Oh, okay.
And
that's
so
safe for
now they
Christmas.
coordinate with me with my daughters, and they're like, well, we've gotten this, and this off the list. But this year I made her type that up herself. She emailed it herself.
Good.
That's a good one. I'm gonna have the boy do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
But so it's worked out well. The whole list thing.
My nephew was like 3 years old, and he did the same thing your little guy did, and had this huge list. And at 3, they're just like, I want this, and I want this. And
Yeah,
I
they
want
go through
this,
that toy book and
I
they want
this."
everything.
And,
else.
and freaking Nick Jr.'s got all the damn the toy cartoon, the commercials. And so my aunt did the same thing. She's like, well, Santa has to bring things for all the kids, and if he brings this big old list for you, how is he going to have room for all the other kids' toys? And he sat there a minute, didn't say nothing. He went, I got an idea. If Santa puts a bag in every one of them reindeers' mouths, he can bring me all my presents.
That is hilarious.
Okay.
What about you, Des? What did you do on the holidays?
I grew up in foster care, so I didn't really have
Like a tradition?
any like traditions. I know when I had my daughter, I tried to do stuff more, because I've never been big into the holidays. So
But you got to force yourself when
right,
you got
yeah,
kids.
when you have
yeah.
kids, you gotta
You got to do it.
yeah,
Because it's not for you, it's for
right. So we did stuff like put the tree up the day after Thanksgiving because I refused to do it before Thanksgiving.
them. Oh, me too.
I even refused to acknowledge there's Christmas until after Thanksgiving. She actually just kind of faded out of Santa Claus. There was no big revelation that Santa
There
Claus
is or there
didn't
isn't, yeah.
exist. She just kind of was like, oh, whatever. I tried to do the whole, wrapping paper different, from Santa, and it was always just a couple gifts. Like I never did more than I think 2.
Right, from Santa?
From Santa.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
some people, I know some families, like the Santa stuff, they don't wrap the Santa. That it's just out.
Right.
Like,
I know she did that when she got a bike.
I know.
What the fuck is the fun of that? The
Oh,
best
no,
part of
but
Christmas
I-
is
I
ripping
do have
paper.
friends who, when they post it, that's what they do.
They
Like
do.
yeah, the Santa stuff is kind of open and out.
That's
The,
crazy.
I remember one time she got a bike, and you
Wrap
can't
the bike.
wrap a bike. You just set it there.
You buy a bike bag.
Okay, I think that's just a new thing. Yeah, like the big cellophane bags are kind of a new
I don't know.
thing.
Rachel got a bike one year, and she got a desk chair one year, and a purple desk chair.
My daughter got a pony one year,
Yeah.
and no, I'm just kidding.
But did
I
you
never
wrap
wrapped
it?
No. In fact, her purple desk chair, when she woke up, I had gotten all the paper, purple Santa paper, and then a purple bear. So when she woke up, it was like this big flood of purple that Christmas.
okay.
I always try to coordinate.
We did the one year we got my daughter a gigantic wooden dollhouse.
Ooh.
And so we wanted it to be in her room. I put a big bow on it, and I wanted it in her room for when she woke up. She was about 3 or 4 at this time. And so
you and Mr. Toxie tried to
well,
carry it
we're-
and be quiet.
Yes, and it's all the furniture is wooden as well. And we're trying to fit it through her door, which it barely fit. Pardon me. And then to get it up, and we're like setting up the little
She's sleeping.
rooms as she's sleeping, and we're like, shh, 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 shh. And eventually we found, because Mr. Toxie would, she loved that house. She loved playing Barbies. And then we found very quickly Mr. Toxie was not allowed to play Barbies because every female Barbie was a lesbian. So.
And naked.
Wait, you know
The
your
naked
child,
lesbian in the
your
shower.
child is too old to play with Barbies when they're mating.
Yeah.
Well, shit, I've been too old to play with Barbies forever then. Because Barbie was forever fucking G.I. Joe.
Well, see, my brother had GI Joes and we had Barbies, and we had a big Barbie
I
dream
had
house.
both.
And my brother would always put the campfire from GI Joe in the Barbie house, and it would make my sister so mad. She'd go, "Mom, Matt's putting the fire in the house. You can't put a fire in the house." It was like just hysterical.
That's
G.I.
awesome.
Joe's way hotter than Ken, though.
But
Oh,
G.I.
yeah.
Joe's a lot shorter than Ken. You ever put G.I. Joe and Ken together?
well,
Which
yeah.
G.I.
Yeah,
Joe
but
you
put
have?
G.I. Joe
They're
right at
about
the
an
right
inch shorter
spot.
than Barbie. Or
Right?
it used to be at least.
When G.I.
Oh.
Joe's that short, his head goes right in the
Right in the right
spot.
spot.
And
right?
you could put a beer can on there.
Yeah.
So put a beer
G.I.
can on his
Joe.
head while
That's
he's
awesome.
taking care of business.
That's great. Well, we're going to take a little break
We
right
are.
now. We're going to be right back.
Yeah, we're gonna play. We're not going to do commercials. We're gonna play some Christmas music. For those of you who may or may not be watching the Ustream, we're opting to not play the Christmas music on the Ustream broadcast, simply because we don't want to infringe on anyone's copyright laws. So have fun, enjoy. If you want to listen to what we decided we thought was our favorite Christmas music,
And the most unique Christmas music.
please go download the archive from VegasAllNetRadio.com, click on programs, and click on the Curvaceous Bounty, and all of our archives for, I think, ever on there right now. And look for the holiday show. Yay.
Yay, we'll be right back.